Welcome to Stager Savvy, insider secrets to stage your home and sell it for more. My name is Stephanie. This is the podcast where we bring you the latest tips, tricks, and expert insights from the world of professional staging. And I'm joined by my friend and fellow staging expert, Kandice.
Hi, everyone. We may be competitors in the Denver market, but we believe in abundance and collaboration over competition. And we're here to share our collective knowledge with you. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn from the experts. This is Stager Savvy. Hi, everybody. This is Kandice with Kandice Lee Designs, and I'm here with my counterpart, Stephanie Breckbill with SLB Design Co. And we are here today for another great episode of Stager Savvy. Hi, Stephanie. How are you today?
Hi, Kandice. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. You know, today we're going to be talking about Feng Shui in staging. Who knew that Feng Shui was important in staging, but it is.
Yes, for sure. I know I remember reading when I first was introduced to Feng Shui, just reading all about it. And I was like, oh, like I immediately went to home staging like, oh, well, that makes sense. That's how we would stage it anyway. And it sort of explained why we stage that way in a different way, I guess, if that makes sense. But there's also a lot of Feng Shui that doesn't work with home staging. So we're going to stick to what coincides with home staging. What applies. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what is Feng Shui?
What is it? Tell us.
Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese design practice of arranging the space around us. Properly arranged, it can bring you happiness, good health, and prosperity. Who doesn't want that?
Right? Especially sellers. Sellers want all of that, right?
That's for sure. Yes. So it's really arranging spaces in your home, all about the chi. And that is the energy that comes in and goes out of the house. So we're going to talk staging and chi.
Right on. I mean, chi goes right with the staging because it's like that energy you're putting out is what buyers are grabbing. So, I mean, it really makes sense. And it really goes kind of hand in hand.
Right. If you don't have good chi in your house, buyers will feel that.
Very for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're not Feng Shui experts by any means, but while we were researching for this episode, we have learned a tremendous amount about Feng Shui and staging. So we're going to pass on that information to you.
Right. And a lot of people are familiar too with the yin yang, like you see that symbol, right? That's black and white, that's kind of divided in the middle. And that's, what did it say about that? It refers to the male, the yang, and the female, which is the yin energy in a room. And so your goal is to balance them. You always want that balance of the yin yang.
Right.
Which makes sense.
Absolutely.
I mean, we want balance in our home. We talk about balance with furniture, with the way things look, and with accessory. Like, so it all plays in together. To help them play together, the yin qualities, female yin is the female. I guess I kind of did that backwards, but soft, passive, motherly, dark. I don't know. Yang qualities are male, hard, exertive, and bright. Why is male bright and we're dark?
Right.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what it says.
Okay.
But it's important to pull them together, have the balance so that the energy feels right and balanced, right?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yes. Elements.
There are 5 elements in Feng Shui.
Okay.
Go for it.
The 5 elements are, and they're divided between female yin element.
Are they?
Female, they are.
Okay.
I saw something. Okay. So understand these elements so that you know, like, why, if you bring something in, why you're bringing it in and how it's going to help you. But the yang elements are earth and fire. The yin elements are water and metal, and they're going to help you achieve that more harmonious life. So the 5 elements are earth, fire, wood, water, and metal. So we think as designers, and especially me, like I go the natural wellness, all of that route. And I think of biophilic design where we're bringing in the wood elements, we're bringing in a water element and a stone element. Like it's all the same.
And the greenery.
It's just a different way to wrap it up and present it, I think. And it's whatever makes sense to you. Embrace whatever is good for you. So a little bit about each element, just so that you kind of understand what they all are. So wood is considered the originator of new life and growth. So it's that symbol of health and creativity and those kinds of things. Fire has more energy than the other elements. And fire works well in a room that needs some more energy. So if it's kind of dull and lacking, like maybe you light the fire, right? Earth elements have that grounding energy that deliver the peace, the stability, the safety. So this would be like granite, terracotta pots, all of those sorts of natural earthy things, stone. Metal is next. Metal is related to earth, but it's less energy than earth because it's malleable and it can be liquid. So metal is associated with wealth, especially gold and silver. It just feels luxurious and brings that luxurious feel into a home. And then finally, water is prized because it's fluid and changeable. So water's associated with purification, cleansing, good fortune, and abundance.
Ooh, I love water.
Who doesn't want that? So when you're lacking something, that can help you figure out which element you need to bring into a space to create the balance in the space.
Right.
Okay.
So one of the main things about Feng Shui, which we have already discussed in a previous episode, is decluttering. All that extra stuff around you is not helping your chi, not helping your energy, and it's an energy suck. So that's why decluttering is so, so, so important.
Yes. Listen to the last episode.
We're not going to go into depth on this one because we just did, but decluttering, number one.
Yeah. Everywhere, your rooms, your closets, your, like all the things, the drawers, the more stuff that you can purge and get rid of, the better and freer you're going to feel in your space.
Right. For sure.
Also, a clean house, once it's decluttered, it needs to be clean and feel spotless. Again, inside of closets, cabinets, drawers, like all those spaces that you don't think about cleaning, baseboards and your floors. And like when everything is clean, I mean, think about when you clean your house and then you sit down and you're like, oh, this feels so nice, right?
Yeah.
So cleaning is a huge Feng Shui thing too, because it helps you feel good. You also might notice something that needs to be fixed once you've decluttered and cleaned, right? You're going to spot something that you may have missed for years. So all of those things bring good energy in, because think about how you feel in the space. You're feeling good, and that's bringing in that good energy.
Right. And then buyers can't really nickel and dime you down because they look around and things have been attended to. It's nice and clean. It has good energy. So they are probably going to go with your price.
Right. They have that higher perceived value because it feels good and it looks good and all the things, right?
Right.
We've kind of broken the rest of this episode into kind of room by room by room. I would like to real quick touch on how color how Feng Shui is affected by color, because color matters, and it matters in staging. Like it matters how buyers are going to feel when they walk into space.
Yep.
I just saw a listing for a beautiful home, but like the kitchen, behind the black kitchen cabinets, they had a red wall. The bathroom had this giant red wall, and I was just like, oh no. So they're not going to love that. So color is super important. Yes. Do you want to talk about color for good Feng Shui?
Let's see. Good energy is associated with certain colors. Blues, greens have a calming effect. And we want more of the calming effect, whereas the red in the bathroom is an energizing effect. And a lot of times when people come into a home with that red color, they are feeling too much energy coming from it.
Right.
And that doesn't sit well with them. And so they are most likely going to leave.
Yeah. Those blues and those greens feel so.
Don't think about having to paint themselves. They don't want to have to do a project when they come in. So, if you have a red wall, let's paint it a nice calming color so that the energy in there feels calm.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they want when they walk into a house that they want to purchase. It needs to feel calm and homey, and red just doesn't do that.
Red doesn't speak that.
No, right. Exactly. Okay. So spaces.
Let's start at the front door.
Front door. I mean, we talk curb appeal. I know my consultations, like I start outside and do the front door and then entry. So let's kind of do that same. Let's walk through the house. Let's talk about good Feng Shui at each space. Do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
So it's in Feng Shui, they say the front door is the mouth of the chi.
Ooh, okay.
So that's where the energy is coming in and going out. And so the door is especially important, and same with the opening. I always recommend flowers at the front door, a nice clean front door, cutting the bushes around the windows so that you can see in, and it looks manicured and fresh.
For sure.
Now, interestingly, I just read, it says to place round-leafed plants and flowers on each side of the door, as sharp-leafed plants can feel unwelcoming to visitors. Now, this I did not know.
I didn't know that either, but I totally can see that. Like pokey things, you're like, but if these are softer, that it would feel more welcoming. It makes complete sense.
It does. Very interesting, huh?
Soft-edged plants. I like it.
So keeping it spotless, keeping the lights on at night so it feels welcoming. I always love a nice, colorful doormat. I don't know if that
for sure
has anything to do with the chi, but
no, but I think it does, because it's setting that tone of color and bright and welcome and let's go. Like it's feeling good. What about front door color? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's a tricky one in staging. They say a black door can make you 6,000 more on the sale. I do love a black door, but it needs to be clean black door.
For sure.
Yep. It says to paint it a color that contrasts with the rest of the house.
Sure.
Yeah. That usually
I can see that. You don't want it to blend in and just be like to disappear. Like it should stand out. So contrast. Yeah.
In fact, I walked through my neighborhood yesterday looking at people's paint and doors and all of that, which I love to do. And it's amazing how many people paint their door the same color as their house. And it's just a blah for me.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Contrasting color makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you want it to stand out. Like it's that welcoming, kind of like a colorful doormat, right? The door itself needs to make a statement, and then black makes a great statement, but also a nice color is good. Nice color is good too. Okay.
So once we get in the house and we're in the entry,
right? The front entry has to welcome you in. It has to kind of direct the flow and sort of tell you where to go, what you're supposed to do next now that you're here, right? It's the first impression. It
is
setting the stage for how they're going to feel throughout the rest of the house. Kind of like the front door and the welcome mat, like, oh, it's colorful, it's pretty, this is going to be great.
Right.
They open the door, they come in. We got to keep that first impression feeling like, ooh, this okay, right? And we want them to take that throughout. So it's that first impression wow them so that they're ready and excited to see the rest of the space. The entry should be clear of clutter.
Yep.
We don't want it to have furniture that blocks the flow of the energy.
Right.
So, I mean, like an entry table, a lamp, a plant, just a couple simple things are good. Colorful art or a mirror. I love a good mirror in an entryway, just
I do too.
to let people see themselves in the space,
Yep. But one of the things I do always recommend is color at the furthest point as you walk in the door, so that the buyer's eyes go to the furthest point, the color, and then they start to sweep around the room.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
Point is important.
And I feel like it's making the space feel bigger, because now we've got them in the door and all of a sudden they're looking as far away as possible.
Right.
And they're like, wow, this feels big and nice, right?
Yes.
Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Now, interestingly, you see that next part says that a mirror that faces the front door is considered bad design in Feng Shui, which is really interesting. I don't usually have it facing the door, so that's good. So in our case, we love the mirror as you come in and you see yourself in the space.
Right. But it's usually on one of those side walls. It's not like you open the door.
Right. And so we don't want it right there, which is an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And mirror reflecting the front door pushes energy away instead of welcoming it into the home. Interesting.
That is interesting.
Anyway, it's love it. Home stagers love using mirrors because they expand the space and reflect the light, right? But like you just said, it also helps people see themselves in the home. And that's that whole psychological thing, which we need an episode on psychology of staging too, I think. But
have we not done that one?
I don't think so.
I thought we did. No?
Did we?
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. I guess.
Okay.
But anyway, like it's so much of what we do is psychological and getting into the buyer's minds so that they'll, and this all goes right along with that. Another don't in Feng Shui is to don't hang two large mirrors facing each other. That creates a vortex of energy that is very combative and stuck.
Oh, fascinating.
Why would you place a mirror to reflect another mirror anyway? I don't know why.
Seems a little silly.
Right? Okay. Next stop is maybe the kitchen. Let's talk about Feng Shui in the kitchen.
Okay. The most important thing you can do when selling a house is to keep your kitchen spotless, clean, and clutter-free.
Yes. Amen.
Yes.
Oh, say it louder for the kids in the back.
Man, we want to see the spaces. We want to see the fixed assets in the house, and oftentimes it's the granite or the quartz or the massive countertop, and so we want to see that. We don't want it all cluttered with stuff.
We want a few things to so that our eye is looking around and noticing all the counter space.
Right.
Because naked countertops are no fun either. But yeah, too much just feels cluttery. And again, it's going to make the countertops feel smaller. It's going to make the kitchen feel smaller. So having just that open space. And I love the fresh things too. Like, add a bowl of lemons with a couple bottles of water or anything fresh and real is always good, I think, in a kitchen.
Bringing in that element of green. Love it.
Greens are always good.
So we always talk about, and I know you do it too, that when we're in a consultation with our clients, we tell them about their pantries, their cabinets. I open every cabinet door. Some people surprise me and have it beautifully organized, but most people, it's like, oh my gosh, you have way too much stuff in here. And so the trick of the trade is remove it all and then only put in about half.
Yep.
So go through things that are expired, that you're not going to eat, that you never have eaten in the last 10 years, that kind of thing. Get rid of about half.
Yeah. And I like to carry that over also to just regular cabinets that are filled with all the kitchen gadgets and things that we have. Like most of the time, what's on the countertop is the stuff we're using every day.
Right.
So I tell my clients to get space down below or up above or whatever with the stuff that you're using once a year and pack that stuff. And now all of a sudden, all the stuff that's on your countertops can be out of sight, but still easily accessible.
Right.
So get it. Yeah.
Same thing.
Good.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
It's like we know what we're doing.
We want it to look spacious in those cabinets so that they can say, wow, look at all the storage, instead of, oh my gosh, this is so crammed with stuff. There's obviously not enough storage.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you like to stage on the countertops in your kitchens? What kind of stuff do you put out?
Oh, I love plants, greenery, whatever. That just brings such a fresh element to a kitchen. I love doing things like you mentioned, bowl of lemons, bowl of artichokes, bowl of limes, whatever. Utensils that are all matching in a utensil holder. You know, things that you find in a kitchen.
Yes. I like to layer things too. I like to layer the cutting board behind the utensil holder, or maybe add a little plant next to it. So you don't want to just put out like a plant right here. Like you need to create a little
vignette.
A vignette, thank you.
Yeah. Which is what captures buyers' emotions, especially in a kitchen. Yes. Where they can say, oh, look, honey, there's some coffee cups here. This is where we could have our coffee in the morning. Those things are super important.
Yeah. Well, because kitchens, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot you can do in a kitchen to stage, but if you don't, it's just going to fall flat. And think about when you have a dinner party, like everybody's in the kitchen. We're in the kitchen. We live in our kitchens. Right. So kitchens are super important for buyers. Like they want to envision all of those things happening. Yeah. And when you put out those little vignettes, it's helping them kind of move into the space and envision how it would feel if they were living there. And kitchens are a big part of that decision-making process for buyers. For sure. Like, if the kitchen's icky, you may not even want to see the rest of the house. I mean, that's
very true. Yeah.
Kitchens are a big deal. Yeah. Okay.
Well, interestingly, I just saw a fact in here that says that in Feng Shui, food signifies wealth and abundance, which is very interesting. So that's why you often see a bowl of fruit in Feng Shui kitchens, especially oranges, which I find fascinating. And it says oranges are valued for their color and shape. Lemons, limes, or a bowl of bright red apples are good items to display in the Feng Shui kitchen as well.
I mean, don't you go to a store? Like, I don't buy oranges very often, but sometimes if they have them on display and you see them and you're like, oh, round juice, like, look at how pretty that orange is. Like, I could totally see that. You don't do that with a lime. Like, you're not like, oh, what a pretty lime.
No, generally not. But you could still have that in your kitchen too.
You totally could, but it's fun to know that oranges have that extra. I'm going to start recommending oranges more.
Right.
Just because.
Well, and I'm going to just keep putting fruit in the kitchen.
Well, any fruit, right. Yeah. See, we were doing it and we didn't really know why we're doing it. And the Feng Shui kind of explains all of that. If that's what we're going for.
Yep. Yeah. So it also says earth color yellow is a good Feng Shui color as well, because it not only lifts your spirits, it has been considered good for digestion.
Oh my God.
Interesting. So
I believe that though.
For kitchen.
Lemons do feel very bright and happy, and yeah.
I love lemons.
Do love lemons in a kitchen. Lemons and sunflowers, or yellow is good.
Yeah. But it also says avoid using water elements of black and blue in the kitchen, which is really interesting because these colors will suppress the fire element. It's all very interesting information, isn't it?
So do you suppose somebody who was very into Feng Shui would not buy a kitchen with black cabinets or blue? I wonder how big of a thing that is, or if it's just the accessories.
Right.
I don't know. Hey, if you know, let us know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's interesting though.
And then they say cutting elements like knives and whatnot should be stashed away. Stash away your sharp items. Now in staging, that's very true because I recommend that they don't keep their knives out.
Right. I always
now I can have another reason for saying why you don't, because you don't want.
What reason do you use normally? How do you tell people?
I always say people are crazy these
That's
days.
what I say
don't want to be responsible for something like, a murder.
That's exactly what I say. I said it when I said it yesterday for these people. They were like, "Oh yeah, you're right. People are crazy." I was like, all right.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. Oh my God. But no, it's true. We don't want them in staging because they feel sharp and aggressive, and they're bad for Feng Shui.
They are. Now we
add that to our list of things.
Yep.
Good smells kind of go along in the kitchen. A kitchen should smell nice. I would say a natural kind of smell. Like, again, we don't want plugins and any of that kind of stuff, but
right.
Natural. Yeah. I don't know.
So another thing it says, this is very interesting, I think, is anything associated with cleaning or waste. Brooms, mops, especially the garbage can, another big one for us stagers. So this goes hand in hand again, because these things contain negative energy, which when they're stored in sight, deplete energy from a room. Fascinating.
I can totally see that. I mean, like,
yes.
Who wants to walk into a beautiful kitchen and see a broom and think, oh yeah, I'm going to have to clean this beautiful kitchen?
Totally.
Like, that just takes you down. So absolutely. It makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, let's go to the bathroom since we've spent quite a bit of time.
Let's go to the bathroom. Oh goodness. Okay. So, I mean, number one, it has to be sparkling clean. It has to be organized. You can't have your personal stuff on the counter because, back to the hotel analogy, like when you walk into a hotel room, somebody used that bathroom last night, but their stuff is gone. It's presented with a cute little pretty packaging. The towels are fluffed and brand new and fresh and clean, right? It feels fresh, clean, new. Your bathroom, when you're selling a home, has to have that same fresh, super crisp, clean feel. People don't want to see your curling iron, your hairbrush, your toothbrush. That's going to scream at them like, oh yeah, this is somebody else's space and I'm invading it right now.
Right. You especially don't want to see pubic hair on the floor. How often do you see that?
Okay. I can't say that's a problem that I
That's a negative energy suck right there.
Definitely a negative.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and along those lines, toilets and drains suck the energy out of a room. So the toilet lid should be closed.
Yes,
stagers like it closed anyway, so it makes sense. But it's kind of the explanation of why it should be closed. It's draining the energy from the room, and I think it kind of goes back to,
that's funny.
Oh yeah, I have to clean that toilet, right? So it's just all of those things out of sight, scrub brushes and plungers, and even your shampoos and conditioners, and all of that stuff just out of sight. It just needs to be clean, spacious feeling, natural elements. I mean, maybe you have a candle and a loofah, but nothing too personal.
Right. I always tell my clients it needs to be Q-tip clean.
Q-tip
not
clean.
just regular clean, but a Q-tip clean.
Yeah. And bathroom's a good place to pull in those earth elements, like again, the loofah, or even like a bowl of seashells or some driftwood, or a live plant is fantastic in a bathroom. And then fresh white towels, whether they're rolled up in a basket or stacked on the counter or whatever. But that, just like a hotel, it pulls in that fluffy, crisp, clean feeling. And that's what
spa-like.
Yeah, the spa-like. That's what buyers want. So do all of those things.
Yep.
Again, avoid black and blue because they bolster that energy that we want to keep lower in a bathroom. We want it to feel calm. So there you go.
All right.
Feng Shui and staging a bedroom. Lots of tips for bedrooms.
Very interesting.
Make a ton of sense in staging. So a lot of these things we do anyway, but what do they have to do with Feng Shui? Feng Shui. I have a hard time with that word.
Well, of course, the main part of this feng shui in a bedroom is to not put your bed next to the doorway, because there is so much energy coming in and out of that door. And I mean, in my house, I have my bed next to the door. And so now I have to shut the door because I wasn't able to sleep because I was feeling this energy coming down the hallway. Really
interesting.
Yeah. And we had our bed, excuse me, on the other wall. And at that time, we didn't have a door in front of our bathroom, so the light was coming in. But that would be the better choice, opposite of the door. And what's the best option, they say, is diagonal from the door. Put your bed diagonal, which doesn't work in a lot of spaces.
Like actually diagonal between two walls. Oh.
Yeah, and so I don't know that really applies to staging, because that would feel a little awkward when you walked in. Having it opposite of the door would be great, because we want that open visual when you walk in the bedroom door and here's this beautiful bed set in front of you. So that,
and in most cases you've got two walls that are opposite over there, right, that you can choose from. So generally, I mean, a lot of times one will have windows, one will not. So the better choice, I always heard, it's the bed should go on the longest wall.
Right.
But if there are windows, it might be better to have it on the wall without the windows, even if it's the shorter wall.
Right.
But
not if it's next to the door.
Right. But not if it's next. No, I'm talking,
right.
Across from the door, the two walls that are across from the door here, across from the door. Yeah. Yeah. What else in the bedroom?
It says to avoid artwork with violent themes.
Oh, you don't want to sleep with an axe murderer on your art?
I think that it says that is an aggressive energy that will sap the energy you need for healing, which totally makes sense.
I guess so, yes.
Yeah.
Calm artwork.
And calm colors in your bedroom. You don't want a red wall in your bedroom, but I'll tell you, so many people have it. I went to this $1 million property to help him stage, and he had a red wall where the windows looked out into beautiful space. That red wall was just making you kind of go, too much energy right there.
So it's repelling you from looking out the window.
Repelling. Oh, so true. Well said. So,
okay.
Nice neutral, soothing colors. Yeah. You want healing energy in your bedroom while you're sleeping at night.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that's where we're recouping for the next day. So it needs to feel, and we want it to feel that way for staging, because when potential buyers walk in, they need to feel that calm energy that, yes, this is a place where I'm going to get some good sleep.
Yep.
Yeah. What else?
Okay. It says to remove electronics, exercise equipment, an office desk, because they all represent the wrong kind of energy.
Okay.
Sleep, which makes sense as well.
Yep.
Because if your desk is sitting there, you're thinking about the work you have over there. So or the gym equipment's in there. Yeah, the gym equipment, you're going, I really should be working out.
That's right. The bedroom really should just be the bedroom.
Yeah. Got it.
Or a sitting room if you have that space for a sitting area or whatever. But
yeah,
no workout spaces, no office spaces, bedroom, sleep, rest, relax, all of that. Yeah.
Right. It says to have your bed elevated so that there's good flow in and around it. And it says to never put your bed under a window, which is interesting. Sometimes you don't have a choice, but there's too much chi flowing in and out of windows.
Interesting.
Again, and interesting. So too much energy for a good night's sleep.
I wonder if you have like blackout curtains, if that eliminates the window and blocks the energy.
I don't know.
Okay, you Feng Shui people need to comment on some of these things, because I have questions.
Right. Exactly.
If you're a Feng Shui pro, maybe we'll do another episode and get you on here with us, because clearly we're not. But answer the question. Let us know what's
right.
Yeah. Okay. Mirror shouldn't face the bed. I've heard that before.
Yeah. Open the windows to allow oxygen and fresh air in when you sleep. I love to do that anyway. I mean, even when it's like 10 degrees outside, I still have my window open.
Oh my gosh.
Part of it's my age.
I mean, I hear you. We're the same age. Yeah.
And then lighting, it does say calm lighting. You don't want a fluorescent light above your head or anything like that. You want calm lighting in there.
Yep.
Or a dimmer. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, we're down to the furniture, which is so much that we've been learning in this episode as well about sharp edge furniture. You don't want sharp edge furniture, which is really interesting, because how do modern styles work then? They have so much of that.
Right. But I don't know. I feel like even modern stuff, some of it, like it appears like pointy, but then it's a circle.
Oh.
That point, you know what I mean? So it's soft edges, even though it's a sharp shape. Does that make sense?
Okay. They say that sharp edges cut the energy, which is interesting.
Oh, okay. Wow. Crazy.
Open shelving and bookcases do the same thing, which I find interesting, because most of us have that in our living rooms or family rooms.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Sharp corners act like knives. Really. So you can soften them with plants.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Round leaves at the corners. You want the round leaf plants, not the
That's right. No pokey plants.
Yeah.
So I guess my aloe vera is not a good choice for trying to soften the corner.
Right. And something we definitely use in staging is we don't put the back of the couch to the door.
Yes.
I mean,
I never want to walk into the back of a sofa.
Yeah. No, I hate that. It doesn't photograph well. However, sometimes it's the only place that it will go.
Right.
But preferably find a different spot.
Yeah, it's unwelcoming, right? It just makes you feel like, oh, I can't even get into this space. And with Feng Shui, it blocks the energy. So
it says face the sofa towards the entrance. So that's important to know.
The sofa should welcome us in. Come sit down.
Right? I love that.
Yeah, that's what I tell all my clients. And that the same with a bed, like in a bedroom, the bed being on that opposite wall, that's what it does, right? That you see the headboard, and the headboard's like, come on in.
Yep. Exactly. So they do note that if you have no choice about putting the sofa backing the door, that at least you should soften it with a sofa table and some rounded leaf plants on there. I gotta go look at all my plants. Do I have rounded leaves on them or sharp?
Never thought about that before.
Nope. That's why we love the pothos, right?
That's right. Okay. I think we made it through furniture.
Yeah.
How about lighting? Feng Shui lighting.
I think it's super important personally, especially when you're staging. And maybe it's different in Feng Shui staging as it is in regular, but I like a nice soft white 3000 Kelvin units. I had to think about that one. Not harsh light, but not too dark.
Yeah.
Nice amount of light.
They do talk about that fluorescent it's just bad feng shui. Like, okay. They don't really explain it other than it's like unflattering, and it can give us headaches. It can cause us fatigue.
For sure.
Right. And feelings of isolation and depression, maybe because it's associated with like a hospital or I don't know. But so fluorescent lighting is not ideal at all.
Yeah. And they say natural light is the best kind of light, which I firmly believe. So as stagers, we are always telling people to open up their windows as wide as they can and moving those curtains out way and cleaning the windows.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes that makes the biggest difference.
It's huge.
Just clean them. Just clean them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
More light is better.
Yeah. Let that natural light in. That's what buyers want. It feels, besides the Feng Shui thing, it just feels good and it feels warm and inviting and all of those things that buyers want.
Yeah. Natural lighting, it helps spaces feel bigger.
Yeah.
And buyers are wanting a bigger space.
Yeah.
I don't know any buyers who are looking for a closed-in, dark little living room. But they may be out there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What else do we have? How about outside?
Is there an outside section?
There's a little bit about outside. Well, just outdoor lighting along the path that leads to the front door. Kind of welcoming nighttime visitors to come in. Along just miscellaneous Feng Shui stuff, like create more open spaces. And today's day and age, most buyers want the light, bright, open, airy, right? Those open spaces. But the Feng Shui pros will tell you to create those open spaces because they believe that they allow the positive energy to just flow throughout the home.
I love that idea.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good.
Mm-hmm.
You can display books. Books represent education, intelligence.
I love using books in staging.
Yeah, it feels good. I think people like seeing them. So they feel good too.
Makes them feel smart.
It does. It does.
Who knows? I just made that up.
They make you feel smart. Oh gosh. I think that's most of it. Really, it's all about the energy, balancing the energy, creating good energy, the chi. Sorry.
The chi.
Yeah. Balancing the chi.
We want good chi in our home. Yeah. And have you ever been into a house where you can feel not good chi?
Yeah. Like you can tell there's something wrong here, something bad happened here, or something just feels off. And a lot of times you don't know what it is. And sometimes it's just the arrangement of the furniture.
Right.
Like fix the furniture and all of a sudden you've opened up this beautiful warm space and that's all it needed. So it goes along, like we said at the beginning, it goes along so well with all of the staging things that we talk about, but it kind of gives them a little explanation as to why it matters, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you are staging your own home to sell, consider all of these tips and tricks that we've given you about using Feng Shui so that you're bringing in lots of good chi. So buyers feel it and want to move in.
That's right. It goes back to that increasing that perceived value of the buyers. When it has good energy, it feels good. All of those things, they're going to love all the things about it. So do the things so that the potential buyers fall in love with your space. It's that simple.
It is.
I think.
Well, I learned a lot from this episode. I bet you did too.
I did too. I mean, I knew a little bit about it, but not a ton. And I just kind of
learned some things today too.
Yeah, I think so. There you go. And go out there. There's a ton. If this is interesting to you, go out there and go down the Feng Shui rabbit hole because there's so much cool information out there. We just barely touched on a little bit. It has to do with staging, but it's all good. So thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, that was a fun episode.
That was fun. That was good. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Give us a like, a share, a comment, an episode idea, whatever, just so that we know we're making a difference for people.
Right on. That's it. All right. Let us know. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Stager Savvy, Insider Secrets to Stage Your Home and Sell It for More. We hope you've enjoyed our discussion on home staging and gained valuable insights that you can apply to your own real estate journey.
If you have any questions or ideas for future episodes or would like to learn more about our services, please feel free to visit our website, stagersavvy.com, or reach out to us directly at stagersavvy@gmail.com. We're always happy to help.
And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast to stay up to date on the latest episodes. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to us, and it helps us improve our content and reach more people.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.